And now, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. He's a successful entrepreneur, published author, top listing agent, a real estate and finance expert that goes to bat for you every day as a consumer advocate. Your host and the consumer quarterback, Brandon Rhymes.
That's right. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show. Brandon Rhymes is out today. My name is James DeJerome. I'm a producer here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Been with Brandon for about 3 years now. Of course, the Consumer Quarterback Show, man, I think we're coming up on our 10-year anniversary pretty soon. So a lot of years of helping consumers in the Bay Area make their dollar go a little farther, because that's what we do here. Consumer advocates for you. We want to make sure we're providing information that gives you a little knowledge and makes you a little wiser in the marketplace. And of course, we want to encourage you to spend locally. And to that end, we bring together a bunch of expert contributors, and they take time out of their busy day to come in and share what they do and what makes them good at their job. And that knowledge will help you when you get out there in the marketplace and you need to purchase from these vendors. So we're going to do that for you. And of course, we do have great sponsors, and we have a great number of, we're going to do the Feel Good story. And of course, along with our expert contributors, our sponsors really back our show. So the Bilmar Beach Resort is what I want to tell you about. Clyde Smith comes on the show all the time. He's the GM of the Bilmar Beach Resort. They do a great job out at the Bilmar Beach Resort. In fact, they were so good at their COVID response that Pinellas County had other restaurants and hotels study their techniques and what they use as far as social distancing and how they were able to avoid being shut down. So they do such a good job, and I encourage everyone to go out there. Great hotel, a lot different than a typical franchise hotel, the Bilmar Beach Resort. And of course, Brandon owns the Platinum MVP real estate team. We're going to show a few properties here. Johnny's our TV producer. We're going to throw you a few up on the screen and talk about what's available for you. Even in this time of real estate scarcity, Brandon has some opportunities for you. Here's one in Land O'Lakes. If you're looking to build, 5602 Land O'Lakes Boulevard, amazing opportunity for builders. About 6.9 acres out there, 2 parcels. So frontage right on Lake Helen. It's currently zoned general commercial. Water and sewer is available. And you got some expansion to go along US 41. So if you want to build some things out there, we got a spot for you with a lot of real estate in 5602 Land O'Lakes Boulevard in Land O'Lakes. One more, John, Spring Hill. Nearly 5 acres in the Spring Hill area at 13335 County Line Road, being rezoned from AG to commercial. There's an existing building on the property that can be occupied or rented. You're right next to the Villages of Avalon and the public shopping plaza in Spring Hill. So a great opportunity there, nearly 5 acres in Spring Hill, 13335 County Line Road. Get in touch with Brandon Rhymes. Don't leave money on the table. It's what we always say here on the show. We talk a lot of real estate on the show, and our mortgage expert is joining us, Diane VANCE. DianeVance.com is her site. Diane, what's going on? I've been reading a lot about rate increases possibly coming.
Well, the rates are increasing. They're still very good. The rates, of course, everybody, if they've listened to Jerome Powell and they listen to anything in the news, they are going to increase this year. But like I said, it's going to be a gradual increase. So if anybody's out there on the fence, they probably want to do something now. Mm-hmm. I will tell you that the FHFA, which is kind of Federal Housing Authority, they actually have announced that they're going to take second homes and they're going to increase those to interest rates to almost what investment properties are, which investment properties are typically about, it's probably about 1% higher in interest rate typically than a primary residence. So everything is different based on your residency, how you're going to use the home. Mm-hmm. And the reason behind that, of course, is they've analyzed the entire market and decided, second homes sometimes turn into investment properties. So they're trying to, now, will it stay permanently? They tried to do this a couple of years ago. They had passed it. However, it didn't stay. It didn't stick. They actually came and reversed it later on, like 6 months later. Okay. So right now, that is the plan. So if anybody's looking at a second home, which we have a lot of those in Florida, of course, and true second homes, we have a lot of those as well. Go ahead and start, let's get you under contract, because I think we have February 4th is when your date of locking in. But that's when you're going to see the rates start to increase, and every lender out there is going to have that increase, and it's because the agencies have actually put the increase in place. So that is a big change for us and for others. Now, of course, if you put more money down on those those loans only, then you might not have as big of an increase. Like instead of 20% or 15%, you put 20% or 25% down. It may give you a little bit of a leeway there.
Now Diane, just back up a little bit. With our market being so hot and this having a smaller, I can't see it having a real cooling effect because everyone is talking to me about how much it costs to rent now. So we're taking away the rent option from folks.
Rent is crazy right now. I'm just really. I have customers that are telling me their rent's going up $400 a month.
Right.
And I did. Well, matter of fact, I had a retiree yesterday, and she said her rent is like $1,500, and I was able to get her into a condo for $1,576.
Right.
So that's with the condo fee. So it's like, okay, you need to really think about that. Where's your rent at? Is it going to continue to increase? Which they say it's kind of like the regular market that you even are having to be competitive when you go into they go into. It's almost like a bidding war on rent.
Right.
So we are a hot market, and with that comes exactly what we're experiencing now. And people tell me, "Oh, there's a boom." I'm like, "No, it's going to keep increasing."
I can't see the cooling down anytime soon, based on those factors that we talk about. People keep coming. People need a place to live. Rent's going up, and certainly Florida real estate has shown ability to appreciate for everybody.
Yeah, I think the state of Florida, I want to say in the past year, I read this somewhere, and I might have my numbers off, but I want to say almost 200,000 people, I believe I read, that has moved to Florida in the past year. I think that's an amount. And I may be off on those numbers because I had COVID, so my brain is still not there. So I still have that foggy brain.
Right.
But definitely, it's time, don't wait. People keep telling me they're going to wait, and I'm like, don't wait. What's going to happen is interest rates are going to go up. That's a fact. It's not, and appreciation will happen, regardless.
And we both mentioned that the rents are going to go up. So
and rents are going to go up as well.
I don't see the option for you out there if you're on the fence, like you said. If you're thinking about doing this, there's no question. Neither of us forecast a time when we're going to go backwards.
I honestly do not think we will go backwards. I think Florida's actually caught up to the rest of the market. Florida's always been very reasonable as far as pricing goes. They still are. If you compare them to other big cities and things like that and other states, we are still very reasonable. But there are a lot of people coming here, relocating. I mean, most of my customers are people that can work remote.
Right. So they can afford to move anywhere and still hold their jobs. Florida's where they want to be. So that's why we're getting so many folks down here. Now, Diane, I know we have a lot of investors. We mentioned that folks look at Florida real estate for a number of reasons because they need a place to stay, but also it's a great investment opportunity. You talked a little bit about people that might buy a second home or an investment property and then use it as a Airbnb or a rental. Some local municipalities are starting to put some legislation in place or start to monitor that a little closer. Have you seen any out-of-state investors kind of approach that and have some hesitation based on the municipality's response?
Not really. I mean, most of the time, by the time I get them, and the realtor's already told them about that. And they are checking, and I always remind them to please check where they're looking and where they're buying and make sure they're letting them know because, certain cities, they don't allow you to rent more than 5 months out of the year.
Yeah, if you think of the Bay Area, how divided we have these little tiny beach communities in certain little areas of Tampa Bay that comprise the whole Bay Area. Each one of those has their own distinct ability to change that law.
That's right, and some of them do. Like St. Pete Beach, I had rented a place there, and you could only rent it out. I want to say 5 months out of the year or something like that. So they're putting some controls in, but some of them aren't. I mean, it just depends. I know downtown St. Pete has some things on. I don't know the exact limits, where it goes from and to, but they have some limits on that. I know a lot of condos that do not allow that. So it's very wise to make sure that you are aware, where you're buying, and if they do allow the Airbnb or the VRBOs or something like that, where short-term rentals, and as long as they do allow it. Now, I've had a lot of people go north, like Weeki Wachee and Hernando County, and on the beaches up there, because those they do allow all that, and there's still a lot of areas that do allow it. So but it's always wise to check when you're purchasing. But I've not noticed any hesitation on my investors. Most of the investors that they've already checked it out.
Right. Hey, Diane, when folks come to you to get pre-qualified, or what is the position you want to put them in so that they're really ready to pull the trigger? I know we talked a little bit about the difference between being pre-qualified and what's the other term?
Pre-approved.
Pre-approved.
So we have a couple of, we have three options. One is the pre-qualified, where I just tell you, okay, you qualify for this much, hold your credit, make sure you have credit, that's it. Haven't verified anything. And I don't put anything in writing unless I have verified income, assets, everything. So pre-approval is when I verified everything that I know you can get a loan, okay? And I give the parameters of how much taxes, how much homeowners insurance, if you're looking at a condo, how much monthly HOAs, I give you the parameters for that so you can make an informed decision. Then we have one step further. So on a pre-approval, we are doing an automated underwriting approval where we run it through the system. I've been in the business a very long time, and my customers that I pre-approve always get approved. So right. I know what I'm doing. But there's one step further, which is a full commitment from an underwriter. So we call it our Advantage Plus program.
Okay.
And it puts the borrower in a situation where they are fully approved. It's been through underwriting. There are no surprises. They have a commitment letter. All they need is a property. And that puts them in a better situation that they might be able to, it's sort of like paying cash, because you end up getting cash in the end, whether you pay cash or whether you have a mortgage.
And the competition is so fierce out there that if you're waiting or you need time, you may lose out.
Correct. Oh yeah, I'm even seeing it more that interest rates have bumped up slightly. Mm-hmm. I mean, so once interest rates start bumping up, people get serious, and I've seen a lot of offers and things like that, and they're getting several offers. But I am noticing a lot of people are even taking the finance properties over the cash offers, and which I thought was interesting. But I've had that a couple times this week, matter of fact. I was really surprised, and it wasn't, so not sure what the situation was, but they evidently decided to do, and it was a person that actually had that full approval that I'm talking about, right. The Advantage Plus. So that's an extra step that I try to, have the customer, suggest to the customer.
Yeah, it's a great opportunity for them. Hey, I know you guys do a lot for veterans. I want to touch on that. Every time you're on, I want to make sure everyone knows about your VA loan policies.
Yeah, we love veterans, and VA is a great benefit that helps the veteran get into homes. It's a zero down program for a veteran, and you can waive what is called a funding fee if you have any disability. And let's face it, most veterans typically have some sort of a disability, right. A lot of times. But just being in the military, it qualifies you, and you can purchase up to $1.5 million. So without any money down.
Wow, that's great.
Yeah, so it's a great program. It's one of my favorite programs, and Fairway does an American War Initiative. I've sent Brandon a clip that we had given away 101 service dogs to the veterans through Fairway. Oh, yeah. This past year, our goal this year is to give 201 away. So anybody that's in need, we did the 13 their families,
okay.
Or we gave away in honor of the 13 that had in Afghanistan that had been killed this August.
Well, that is
and
very
we had
cool.
So Fairway's a big VA lender. Love our veterans and appreciate them. So it's a great way to purchase.
Yeah, we want to make sure everyone knows about that program. Now, Diane, we had Miss LeBlanc from from Fairway last week talking about reverse. Just to educate us quickly, if you could, just a minute or so. Reverse as an option for some folks. Who does it make sense for?
Yeah, so anybody 62 or older, basically a reverse mortgage can be used as a purchase or refinance. So if you want to purchase a home, let's say you want to purchase that $300,000 house, and you have a lot of money to put down, you can actually, or $150,000. Let's say you have $150,000 cash, you can actually purchase a $300,000 house and not have a mortgage payment, or you can refinance your current mortgage and not have a mortgage payment. Or if you have a lot of equity, you can earn interest on what is called a HECM, and also pay off your mortgage there's a lot of different varieties, and with a reverse mortgage. But anybody over 62 is eligible, and it's a very good financial avenue, so that you're not taking out your 401k. So people used to think, oh, it's just for people that are dire straits. Well, it's not the case. It's a good financial avenue, because you can keep your 401k or your IRA intact and not take any money out to make mortgage payments. Yeah. So, and you don't have a mortgage payment at all. And basically it's, your mortgage payments it's kind of reverse of what a forward mortgage is. It's being paid from the equity in your house.
Well, I love the fact that you're independent at Fairway and you can shop every product out there. So we always encourage everyone to get in touch with Diane, DianeVance.com. Any other way besides DianeVance.com to get to you, Diane?
Yeah, my cell phone is on my website, 727-647-8199. I do have people text me. I have call me. But if you go on my website and you want more information, there's a apply now, and it'll actually take you right to my website. And actually, my website has a lot of information on it as well. So, there's several ways that you can get in touch with me.
Diane Vance, Fairway Independent Mortgage. She's our lending expert. Get in touch with Diane. We encourage you guys all to get out of renting and get into purchasing. Thanks so much for joining us today, Diane.
Thank you. You have a great week.
All right, when we come back, I've got James Grant and Stephanie Powell right here in our Salem Media Group studios. We're going to talk a little bit about what you can do if your house is experiencing some drama. And I have a personal story that we're going to get into a little bit about folks out there, and I can share my story with them. So don't go anywhere. We got a feel-good story as well. This is The Consumer Quarterback.
The Consumer Quarterback Show will be right back. Don't go anywhere.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Hey, Brandon Rhymes here for Cleaning Commandos here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Cleaning Commandos are hiring, and they're offering competitive wages, flexible hours, relaxed atmosphere, and a sign-on bonus. Reach out if you'd like a career with the Cleaning Commandos here in Tampa Bay. Info at cleaningcommandosllc.com or call 813-750-0550, 813-750-0550. Cleaning Commandos, Consumer Quarterback Show. Hey, Brandon Rhymes here. We are looking for real estate investors. We've got a new relationship bringing us a tremendous amount of off-market real estate investment opportunities. So text the word investor to our hotline, 813-750-0550. Off-market real estate investment opportunities. Text investor to 813-750-0550. Brandon Rhymes here, Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty, looking for real estate investors. Send us a text. Have you desired more income and more freedom in your life? Now is your time. Keller Williams Realty has just launched our own real estate school, and you can get licensed for free. I'm Brandon Rhymes, host of the Consumer Quarterback Show, owner of the Platinum MVP team at Keller Williams Realty. And for the first 3 people who reach out, I will personally coach you. 813-917-1894. Call or text 813-917-1894. ConsumerQB.com. ConsumerQB.com.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
Please do give Brandon a call if you're interested in hearing about any of the properties that we pitch right here on the Consumer Quarterback Show, because even in this time of real estate scarcity throughout the state, Brandon still has some opportunities for you. Johnny is our TV producer. He's going to throw a few properties up for me. What do you got there, John? Here's one in Tampa at 4302 North Nebraska Ave, over 2,000 square feet. This is an office building right in Seminole Heights. Wood floor, decorative fireplace. It's got a corner lot where about 50,000 cars a day go by with a billboard right on the property. So kind of a built-in advertising opportunity for you, and a lot of people are going to see that location at 4302 North Nebraska Ave. Get in touch with Brandon if you're interested. I think we got another one on Nebraska. Here it is, 4214 North Nebraska Ave. This is a dry cleaning business, and it's ready to go. It looks turnkey, located in Seminole Heights. It's got some extra storage, 2 bathrooms, equipment for the business is included. So dry cleaning business opportunity, 4214 North Nebraska Ave in Tampa, Florida. I want to mention the sponsor for this segment is Discovery Golf Cars. Everyone's got a golf cart these days. I see kids in my neighborhood pulling each other on skateboards. Halloween, they're trick-or-treating out of the golf cart. They're walking the dog with the golf cart. If you want to get a golf cart, these are the folks to do it. Discovery Golf Cars. They got a couple locations right in our area. They offer financing. They come out and repair the thing. They have all different makes and models. Discovery Golf Cars, also known as Golf Cart Depot, a great sponsor for the Consumer Quarterback Show. All right, in the first segment, Diane Vance was telling us all about real estate opportunities. And if you're a homeowner, you might want to know who James Grant is. James Grant is here in the studio with us. He's from ServPro. Before we even get started, ServPro can do a number of things. What does ServPro generally do for folks out there?
Well, James, hey, first of all, Happy New Year.
Yes, sir.
ServPro does a number of different things. Obviously, we're a restoration company. We handle any mold, fire, water damage. Now, also, we've moved into the general contracting part of it, so we can do our build-outs and those type of things. So
okay.
we can pretty much, anything that goes wrong in your house, we can pretty much handle that.
So you got a pipe that breaks. In my experience, that's what I had happen. A pipe broke in my kitchen. Next thing you know, I got water everywhere. Call the plumber. Plumber says, hey, man, I can't go in there and pull that stuff. You got mold in the wall. You got to do something about that first. Mm-hmm. Then the whole process starts from there.
Correct. From an independent inspector to us doing the most job.
And you guys, just like any contractor out there, have to have materials ready to go because folks are saying, my kitchen's down. What am I going to do with no kitchen?
Absolutely. As you know, as far as having we go in and do our assessment, and Stephanie would talk more about that. I can't believe she's sitting right next to me. I see her every day. I forgot her name. But so she'll talk more about the process as far as the materials and how we go about that.
Okay, Stephanie Powell, she's the ServPro project estimator?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now, so like I said, I was in a panic. All of a sudden, I get news, hey, I can't, the plumber's I'm worried just about him hitting me with a giant bill.
Right.
Then I'm talking about, now do I have to get my insurance company involved, remediation? So I imagine you get a lot of panic calls.
A lot. Right.
So people want to know how much right away, and you just try to explain to them, hey, let's do our work, and the process has to play out here.
Right. I would always suggest contacting your insurance company, especially in a situation where you don't know what the costs are going to be up front. That way you know you're just on the line for your deductible.
Okay.
In a situation like you just said with your home where the plumber said, wait, I can't do this because there's mold, I would always recommend a third-party hygienist to come in and test the area. Insurance is going to require that, and that's the only way that we will also guarantee that the remediation is complete and it's mold-free in your home. A hygienist comes in and basically does testing, and they write what's called a protocol. They determine the steps that need to be taken for somebody like us to come in and remediate the home. Mm-hmm. People think that will delay things, and it actually speeds things up.
Exactly what I was going to speak to. My first concern is how long. The first thing I want to know is when. So right. I'm likely to skip a step, or if I think I'm handy, I'm going to jump in there and try to do something myself.
Right. And when they skip steps, that's when a can of worms opens up. We remove those cabinets, and now we see that the mold goes clear through the kitchen into the other room. Maybe it backs up to a bathroom, and now it involves the shower. Skipping any step during the process always delays it later on because we can't know what's inside that wall until it's tested. So any kind of skipping
not a good idea. Make
right.
sure you're taking it step by step. And the first step is get in touch with a professional organization Correct. Like ServPro, because you just don't know you can't take this on by yourself. Even if I was a carpenter, I'm not a mold guy. I'm not a plumber. I don't know about fire and smoke. I mean, there's a lot of things I can't do by myself.
Right. And when homeowners try to do it by themselves, we end up getting called in the end anyway, and now it's a bigger issue for them. It costs more money. Now it's going to take more time. If we were called from the beginning, it would have been a quicker process for them.
Right, because this all is going to eventually be inspected. If you want to sell the house, whatever is going to happen eventually, at some point
Correct.
you're going to have to pass an inspection. Mm-hmm. I got you. James, we're coming into our first break. Tell me a little bit about Stephanie's role in terms of your team. How long has she been with you? How valuable is Stephanie here?
Actually, that's a really good question there, because Stephanie's been, I think, 15 years.
Almost
16.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. And in this industry, that's...
Yeah.
Turnover is pretty big.
There's so many questions that you're going to have that you need somebody to give you an answer to.
Mm-hmm.
And that experience is very valuable, especially when talking about dealing with insurance companies.
Right.
All right, we're going to get into that a little more when we come back. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show, so we always have a feel-good story for you. This one is right out of Bradenton. This is a little 8-year-old girl who saved her dad from choking. Wait till you hear this story. Very cool. Mother's a paramedic and made sure that her kids were educated enough to help out and never imagined that they'd save their own father. So the Consumer Quarterback Show wants to always make you feel Feel Good. In addition to Stephanie and James right here from ServPro, we've got Jordan Bowman from the AC Guy of Tampa Bay. You've heard her father, Greg Bowman, who owns the AC Guy of Tampa Bay on the show. So Jordan's here. We're going to talk to her as well. Don't go anywhere. Again, great news and great information for you on the Consumer Quarterback Show.
This is Chris Voss, former FBI lead hostage negotiator and owner of the Black Swan Group, and you're listening to Consumer Quarterback Show hosted by my friend Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
Yeah. Alrighty, in that case, everyone please stand by.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
You're listening to the Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes, cutting through your typical media nonsense and offering you a rational and unbiased perspective on current events and life in Tampa Bay. Online at consumerqb.com.
That's right. ConsumerQB.com is a great resource for everybody out there. Check out all our expert contributors. You can check out our sponsors and even some of the real estate properties that Brandon pitches right here on the show. Our sponsors, of course, Replenish IV Solutions, a great sponsor for the show. They've been with us for a while now. Everyone's concerned nowadays about their immune system. They want to make sure they're up to date with their vitamins and everything. Well, Replenish IV Solutions has a great solution. They come directly to your home or business if you can't get to them, and they'll inject an IV right into your veins, give you all that stuff you need to keep you healthy and ready to go. Replenish IV Solutions. Steve and Lisa Gunn have been longtime friends of the Consumer Quarterback Program. We encourage you to check them out. Of course, we have a couple of properties for you as well. Johnny's going to throw a few up on the screen for us because Brandon is the owner of the Platinum MVP team. He has an opportunity for you in the Hudson area, 15806 Adobe Drive, about 2,600 square feet, 8 bedrooms, 4 baths, gas wood burning fireplace. Man, what a spot here. Stainless steel appliances, gas stove, sauna, walk-in shower, and garden tub. So 15806 Adobe Drive in Hudson. Really beautiful property up there. All right. We have been talking to James Grant, Stephanie Powell from ServPro, and I was wondering, I'm familiar with you guys, and I've seen different companies out there. Part of what separates a good company from another is the certification or what you've done education-wise. Can you talk a little bit about getting certified in this field?
Mm-hmm. One of the things we take some pride in is have our techs being certified. One of the certification agencies is called IICRC, which stands for Institution of Inspection, Cleaning, and Restoration Certification. They are the certification backer for most of the restoration industry.
Okay.
They certify over 60,000 techs, and that's worldwide. That's not just locally, so it's a big organization. It's not just something we do locally.
Right.
And we also over 6,000 actual firms such as ServPro that are licensed to have their symbol on our window.
So you guys, I got to understand that in every one of these scenarios, there's a unique property, and the situation is different everywhere. So the more experience you have in this kind of work, the more you can see down the road a little bit. Because as a homeowner, you really can't see in your attic, in your walls, in your pipes. You don't know exactly what's coming. You're just hoping, with your fingers crossed, that you have somebody that you can trust. Because you had to have a trusted advisor here.
Absolutely. And being that you have that certification gives you some type of expertise. So when you go into somebody's home or office building, at least they know, have a back and say, hey, you guys are certified. Give you that level of comfort. Give the consumer that level of comfort.
Absolutely. Now, Stephanie, you deal with people directly sometimes with the project estimation. Talk about some of the factors that influence your estimation.
Basically, the damage that occurs and how long. The biggest factor is probably how long it's been going on.
So time.
Time is definitely of the essence. The quicker you can get somebody out, the less damage you're going to have. A lot of properties get secondary damage because homeowners try to take care of it themselves. Now they've got mold behind the wall, typical things like that.
Right.
Another factor is the insurance company and the coverage, and that's not something we can control, but different insurance companies have different stipulations, what they'll cover, what they won't cover. Every policy is different. Every insurance company is different as far as the scope of work goes. Whether or not they're going to make us refabricate the cabinets and use the fronts, or whether they're going to replace the whole kitchen. Every insurance company is different, and people need to talk to their agents and adjusters really to get those answers.
So if you've ever been on the phone with a bureaucratic institution, a big institution, and try to get things done paperwork-wise, it's quite frustrating. So having somebody who's done it before, whether you're just registering for classes at a college, or you'd be surprised how frustrated you can get online trying to dig through some of this paperwork. And the insurance stuff is really detailed. So if you've never seen it before and they send you this form and say, why don't you fill out all the, you're going to be in over your head for sure.
It's like looking at a different language for a homeowner that's never had that experience or even been in the field. Maybe they did have a water damage before, but it's still a difficult experience to navigate through all the paperwork, the estimates, how to present them to the insurance company, the coverage. So it is good to have someone like us playing that middleman for you. We know how to present the estimates. We write them up the way the insurance company wants them to be written up.
Because unfortunately, if you do make a mistake in the filing or the paperwork, it may not just result in a delay, but you may not get anything out of this at all.
Correct.
So it's a very serious, this is your home, folks. I mean, there's nothing more personal to you than your home. You better have a plan and folks that can jump in and save you when you're really in trouble. I can't imagine how many times you get this call and they just don't know which way to turn.
Daily.
So in Florida, we not only have the weather, we got the humidity, we got pests, all kinds of things. Talk about some of the things that Floridians face or what you get.
I think the most things that people are shocked by is that mold in the home. And it's not just a water damage that can cause mold. If you don't run your AC and you go out of town for 10 days, you could come back to a house full of mold. And it's covering your walls, your contents, and that is extensive cleaning and extremely expensive to take care of. People shut off. Florida's not a place you can shut your air off. You have to have it running.
Think about you've got a house for sale, your secondary home, and you just turn off the utilities. I mean, there's homes out here in the area right now that are unoccupied that the homeowner just is not there. They turn off the AC, they turn off the power completely, and it sits idle for a year. Can you imagine in our state with just an idle building sitting in regular air temp humidity for a year?
It could happen in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
For that kind of situation. Or homeowners, if they're living here, not shutting off their water before they go out of town. Happens a lot. A toilet line bus, a refrigerator line bus, they come home to water coming out their front door.
So I could imagine communication we talk about is critical between the homeowner and ServPro and then the insurance company. You need that mediator in between to make sure you're not missing any steps. We talked a little bit about how learning and certification is critical when determining who to trust with this kind of work.
Correct. Or even our office staff has that same certification, not just the techs in the field, but all of our management, all of our estimators, the girl that answers the phone, the office manager, everybody in our staff gets certified, whether they're in the field or not.
Yeah, we encourage everybody out there, no matter what vendor you're dealing with, to make sure that you check them out. I mean, there's lots of people out there that are going to take shortcuts if you let them. And if you got to hold their feet to the fire, make sure they're certified. Check them out online. Do some research on your own. And that's what we do here on the Consumer Quarterback Show. That's how we ended up with James Grant and Stephanie Powell right here from ServPro in our studios today. I got a few minutes left for you guys. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything or skip anything. James, what are some of the points you want to make sure you hammer home for folks out there?
I want to hammer. One of the things I do is ServPro's tagline is like it never even happened. And how do we do that versus through the certification, making sure people know what they're doing?
Absolutely, because that idea that you're going to sit or maybe even have to leave your home while this work takes place, when you come back, you just want to get back into your house and have your way of life restored. And it can be quite upending to not have a kitchen and not have a bathroom, not have these folks in your house, because it's not a process that's overnight. It takes a few days to get this thing, even if you have all the materials and you're ready to go like ServPro.
Correct.
All right, guys, what's the best way? Website, phone number, tell them how to get to you.
You can reach us through the website. The website is ServProWestTampa.com. Or you can reach me at my phone number is 813-885-0888.
James Grant, Stephanie Powell, ServProWestTampa.com. Check them out. Make sure that you get somebody you can trust if you have one of these situations arise. Thanks so much for coming in today, guys.
Thank you for having us.
All right, when we come back, Jordan Bowman from the AC Guy Tampa Bay right here in our Salem Media Group studios, and our feel-good story about that little 8-year-old girl who saved her dad. Again, this is the Consumer Quarterback.
This is Work Done, and you're listening to the Real Estate Quarterback Show hosted by my man, Brandon Rhymes.
To get in touch with Brandon, call 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com.
This is Diane VANCE with Fairway Independent Mortgage, a member of the Consumer Quarterback Show. Please give me a call for any of your mortgage needs. We do all sorts of loans. If you would like information on a mortgage, you can text me or call me at 727-647-8199. I will take care of all your mortgage needs. Go to my website at dianevance.com.
Ian Beckles here with my man, Brandon Rhymes, a.k.a. the Real Estate Quarterback. Brandon, what's happening with the market?
Thanks, Ian. We are in a low inventory market, so any of our listeners are homeowners and would like a free comparable market analysis or a 2.5% listing, we will honor this for the first 3 listeners who call or text in
813-917-1894.
Free CMA and a 2.5% real estate listing. Check out consumerqb.com. Looking for a venue to host your next business or family event? Make it Largo Event Center. The Consumer Quarterback Show has used the Largo Event Center, and the hall and service you get is fantastic. Over 8,500 square feet of meeting space, perfect for events, expos, and trade shows. Upstairs offers space for smaller meetings and groups to include use of their lounge and game room. Plenty of room outside for car shows or food truck events and concerts. Largo Event Center is just west of US 19 on 126th Avenue. For booking and details, visit largoeventcenter.com. That's largoeventcenter.com. Or call Guy at 727-776-3442.
You're listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Online at consumerqb.com. Brandon is Tampa Bay's #1 consumer advocate for real estate and financial advice. Call Brandon today at 813-917-1894.
Yes, give Brandon a call if you want to meet any of the expert contributors on the Consumer Quarterback Show. Maybe you want to get in touch with our sponsors or check out some of the great information on the website at consumerqb.com. One of our sponsors, Brothers Easy Moving, the official moving company of the Consumer Quarterback Show. They moved Brandon into his new house. These guys work late and they go local, long distance. They really care about what they're doing. Lots of 5-star reviews online for Brothers Easy Moving. They are the official moving company of the Consumer Quarterback Show, and certainly want you to check them out if you need to go local or long distance. Like I said, any moves, get in touch with Brothers Easy Moving. Now, every day on the Consumer Quarterback Show, we feature a feel-good story. It's kind of what I want the show to be all about. So I got one right here out of Bradenton, Florida. This is a really cool story. Weeks after learning the Heimlich maneuver from her mom, an 8-year-old girl saves her choking stepfather. So listen to this one. A few weeks before the new year, 8-year-old Manatee County girl watched her mother, a paramedic, use the Heimlich maneuver to dislodge a piece of bacon from her 6-year-old brother's windpipe. That day, Mom Tabitha Parker decided her daughter Peyton should know this life-saving technique, so she showed her what to do if somebody was choking. The family couldn't have imagined Peyton would become the family's newest hero just 9 days into 2022. January 9th was a normal Sunday morning for Parker's boyfriend, Michael Langston. He was just playing video games in the living room while Peyton and her little brother Keegan played around the house. A living room surveillance camera caught what happened next. He took a bite of his sandwich and instantly he knew. I couldn't breathe. He said, I realized as soon as I tried to take a drink, I started freaking out for a second. I did it again. At that moment, I realized I couldn't breathe. He was patting his chest, so I realized he was choking, said little Keegan. In the video, Keegan can be seen running to get his big sister to help. Langston follows, and Peyton jumps right into action. She said, I just jumped up and started doing it. Peyton and Keegan's mom, Tabitha Parker, she couldn't be more proud, she says. And, of course, Langston is thankful she did, too. I'd be dead if it wasn't for them, he said. It's mind-blowing, It's scary, but I've never been more proud of her. And, of course, Parker says, everyone out there should teach CPR to their kids. You never know who they could save. So that's a pretty cool story about an 8-year-old stepping up and applying what she knows in terms of CPR. And I encourage everybody out there to do that. Jordan Bowman, the AC guy of Tampa Bay. How are you doing today, Jordan?
I'm great, thanks.
Now, of course, we have Greg on all the time, and Greg is such a wealth of knowledge when it comes to air conditioning systems and everything about HVAC that I always end up getting in real technical talk with him, and sometimes I neglect some of the customer service things that make you guys really good because you guys always get back to the people right away. Talk a little bit about your policies and how you'd run the business over there in terms of customer service.
Yeah, so it's really important to us to offer like the best customer service we can. We're constantly training our staff on how to do better. We actually have pretty much 24/7, like people will get back to you if you call in. We have a phone answering service now that literally answers the phone all the time, and they schedule even when our current office staff is not there. So if you're calling after 6 or if we're closed and our office staff isn't there, they'll still help you schedule emergency services.
Now, in our state and in almost every part of the state, especially where we are, it's almost an emergency situation when your air conditioning does not work. You guys can imagine it'd be difficult to sleep. It'd be difficult to kind of operate in your house if you have no air conditioning whatsoever. So you get some panic. You get some people that are pretty nervous and pretty hurried about how fast can you get out here? What can you do for me?
Yeah, we do. And I have found that 9 times out of 10, we can get out there same day or within 24 hours. And if you're in our VIP program, which I know has been talked about many times, within 24 hours is what we will promise.
That VIP program does not only get you routine service, it also helps avoid the catastrophic failure that we talk about a lot.
Yeah. Because you're having routine service. So by having that, you're catching things sooner. And then even if you do have an emergency, like we said, 24 hours will be out there. And as well as you always have reduced fees, which is amazing.
Yeah, that's a pretty reasonable program. I remember him telling me it's a pretty reasonable monthly fee, right?
It's $15 per system.
So $15, man, that's really nothing out there when you're thinking about some of these systems I imagine are going for $8,000 or $9,000 now when you're talking about installing an AC system in someone's house.
Yeah.
So it's a big investment for folks out there, and it's a critical piece of your home. I'd say outside of your roof, the next most important thing.
Oh, yeah, especially with the last people you just had. They were talking about if your system's not run, you have like mold issues. Oh my goodness, yes.
Yeah, so again, when Greg comes on, one of the things I was unaware of course, as a Floridian, you feel the humidity. You can't get away from it. But the idea that your HVAC system could remove humidity even if you don't want to cool. So in other words, we can get some of the moisture out of the air and stop this problem that we have down here with people getting humidity in the home. Yeah,
dehumidifiers are an optional, I think with some system and also add-ons as well, which if your humidity is high, your house will feel warmer than it really is. And also it's not great for molds, mildews.
Yeah, I feel like it's a critical piece that people often neglect because they think they're it's going to cost them a high power bill, but the more efficient your system is, the better you can cool without spending so much money, right?
Yeah, exactly.
So, one of the things Greg talks about, everyone out there always thinks that, I want it freezing cold. And of course you do. I don't blame you for that. But the idea that you're just going to get a bigger air conditioning unit to make it colder, it's not always the answer because the install is really critical. You need a technician who can kind of look at your house and figure out where you need the cold air, not just the biggest possible system. So I always thought it was cool how you guys talk about sizing it and install just as important as any warranty or backing from the manufacturer is. Man, make sure you get the right people to put it in because you're going to avoid problems if you have the install done right.
Exactly, yeah, because a lot of it, we've had people who'll be like, they're on the phone with us, like, I think I need a 3-ton, 14 SEER. And it's like, that's amazing, but if you have a 3-ton currently, that doesn't necessarily mean that's what you need. Because depending on where your windows are, how the sun hits your home, like how well it was insulated, how old the home is itself changes the sizing. And you can, if you're oversized, you're going to have problems, and if you're undersized, you're going to have problems. That's the one
I think people don't realize is, I got such a big, I'm in great shape because I have a gigantic air conditioning unit, but there's so much inefficiency that you're actually taking the life of the machine down because you're forcing it into a smaller spot. Yeah, I didn't think about things like that in terms. It's not like a vehicle. I know Greg's analogy with the car. You can spend a lot on a car, and then you wouldn't service it for 2 years. It doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
So you got to keep that thing running the right way.
Yeah, exactly.
Now you guys have a staff of people out there. I know everyone in all these areas is fighting this labor shortage. They're always talking about how it's hard to find people. Your field, you got to have some training. right? So talk a little bit about people out there if they want to join the team or how they join the team and the steps that you guys go through.
Yeah, actually, we're hiring right now. We're
Okay.
hiring. We're always like looking because it's really hard to find really like good installation crew. And yeah, there is a labor shortage. We're actually hiring an office personnel right now.
Okay.
And I believe we're listed on Indeed. So I think that's where you can find us. You can also find us on our website, acguyoftampa.com. You can just apply right there or give us a call. But we definitely obviously do a thorough screening. Office personnel is a little different than field staff, obviously, but we want to make sure people have experience. Greg talks to them about their certifications if they have any, what that would look like to get them there. We definitely want to make sure that they're good at what they do. Like Greg screens everybody who comes in. So a big thing that what happened when we transferred from like a small Greg goes out on every call to other people is Greg's still the one hiring everybody. So he's still the one making sure that he feels confident in them.
I tell you what, I love talking to him about this stuff because I'll come up with a crazy question about cooling or some history of air conditioning, and he knows the manufacturers that started making air conditioning. He knows the evolution of the air conditioning systems, how before there was air conditioning, what people. I mean, it's amazing the ideas and the knowledge he has. So one of the things. People get a big house down here, and they have a southern exposure or a sunny side of the home that tends to get super hot. So they try to navigate different, maybe two systems or split systems. There are options out there, and that's the idea is we want to make sure the house is evenly cooled.
Yeah, there's zoning options.
Okay.
Yeah, so basically there's systems that you can zone particular places of the home. It's fancy a little beyond my expertise because that's like Greg's thing, but you do like shut off certain sections of the home where air is and pushes more air to other places. So if you have like a place that's really hot, that's a great option for you.
So that's what I mean when I talk about Greg's knowledge in this field is he can look at something and see inefficiencies that are perhaps a design flaw, not necessarily your equipment's not working great. The design, the ductwork, something that can be tweaked to help get more life out of what you got.
Exactly. Yeah. It's funny. He's my dad, obviously, as many of y'all know. And I tease him. I'm like, you can't remember what you had for breakfast, but you can know what system you installed 8 years ago.
It's very cool. Like I said, we always get sidetracked. We start talking about air conditioning and it ends up in engineering or something like that because he has so much knowledge in this stuff.
So intelligent.
Now, when we contact all the different AC companies out there, and they say that how long it takes them or what they can offer you. A lot of them are married to a particular carrier or manufacturer. So I always ask Greg, should I really research my manufacturers and find out who's making the best product? And his advice to me was not just who has the track record, but who's warranty. Really investigate the warranties because that's the kind of thing that's going to save you in the event of a failure. And even the finest quality machine still could have an issue that you're going to rely on that warranty for.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And I talked about this last time I was in here is I actually am the one who processes warranties. And so I am the one who constantly sees them fail and what happens. And the biggest thing I always tell people is get a labor warranty. Okay. Find a good manufacturer that has a really great labor warranty because that's what really bites people in the butt is the labor. Because even if it covers like $1,000 coil, the labor adds up so fast. So I'm always like, get a good one. And we have particular ones we prefer their labor warranties because some are out of house and those ones homeowners have to file them and that's a pain in the butt. So
what could happen is that you buy a great machine or you buy the top of the line machine out there and then you have an issue. Well, if your warranty is as Jordan was mentioning, they may have only a particular vendor that can work on that machine. It may take them a little longer to get there. The parts may be unique. There's certain factors that you don't see. Again, we talk a lot about trusted professionals on the Consumer Quarterback Show because the idea that you think you can see all the potential problems out there, you can't. And someone who's been in the business as long as these guys, they can look right away and say, boy, your warranty lacks this or it needs to be this. And I would never be able to see that language when I look at the warranty. So when you started looking at them, what was the thing? It took a little while to read because it's like a manual, right?
Oh, warranties. Yeah, we know the ones that we trust. So that's why we particularly stick with certain brands. We're like, we trust these warranties more than other ones. But we always suggest people go with in-house warranties with a manufacturer. So basically, like, for example, Goodman, they do their warranty in-house. Champion does their warranty in-house. Now, there's some companies, I believe, maybe Ream, who does it out of house. And basically what that means is like a manufacturer, a contractor like us wouldn't be able to file that for you. And then you're dealing with this like out-of-house warranty and then you're paying us and then you have to wait to be paid back. So when you have these in-house warranties, basically we're covering that and then we're dealing with the warranty department and that saves headaches and time and frustration.
Is the AC guy of Tampa Bay married to any particular manufacturers?
No, we just prefer specific ones. We're not married to them. We really do like Goodman, but the private label is Franklin that we really prefer.
Okay.
We like their warranty, great warranty, and the same thing with Champion. And now, obviously, there was a shortage recently, and that's really what changed a lot of how we were doing things, is who could get us the equipment. Because, like you said earlier, the installation is what really matters.
Right. Now, I've seen a couple of different companies that are big and famous, and then they have a smaller sub-brand that's still affiliated under their umbrella. Like, I think a Carrier has another unit that's not necessarily says Carrier on it, but it's their manufacturing. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what Goodman and Franklin is. So
Okay.
Franklin's like the private label, and Goodman's like the big one, and then Daikin is another one. It's part of. It's all like a lot of these places are made by the same companies, just different label of branding.
Okay. So out there, when you're doing your consumer reports and you're looking through all your stuff and trying to figure out which machine is the one that's best for you, we encourage you. Get in touch, look at the warranty, first of all, and then get a trusted advisor who's not married to a particular machine that has to sell you this product, that they can shop all the different products out there and give you a great deal. Just like Diane Vance was on the show earlier talking about being able to get mortgage products from anyone because they're independent. That's the idea with you guys. Now, so talk to me a little bit about the current state of affairs now. You guys are not feeling this labor shortage, but what about supplies?
To get supplies right now, there has been some back ordering of that, which is always like not fun for customers. We always do it. We've actually gone above and beyond where we've had our guy go get a piece of equipment, take a piece of equipment out of that equipment and install it in a customer's house so that they can get them air.
Awesome.
Because sometimes they're back ordered and there's not much you can do and you have to work with it.
Boy, the AC Guy of Tampa Bay, as you can see, that's a local company going the distance for you, making sure that you have all the information. Jordan, thanks so much for coming in. Talk to us a little bit about how to get in touch with. What's the best way for people to call the AC Guy or get in touch with them?
Yeah, you can go to our website. You actually can book now from our website. That's a new thing. That's pretty cool. So acguyoftampa.com, or you can give us a call at 727-286-3170. We answer the phones pretty much 24/7 and can book up until about 10 o'clock at night.
That's right. Great customer service separates the AC Guy of Tampa Bay from the competition. We encourage you to check them out. Of course, they're online at consumerqb.com, as well as you mentioned, acguyoftampa.com. Thanks so much for coming in, Jordan.
Thank you.
All right, today was a great show. We had Diane Vance from Fairway Independent Mortgage and James Grant and Stephanie Powell from ServPro. We certainly want you to get in touch with them. And I want to thank Brandon Rhymes for giving me the opportunity to sit in with him on the show. I love the show here, and I think there's great value out there for all the consumers. This is the Consumer Quarterback Show.
You've been listening to The Consumer Quarterback, Brandon Rhymes. Whether it's real estate, consumer, or financial advice, let Brandon call your next play. Call Brandon Rhymes at 813-917-1894. That's 813-917-1894. Online at consumerqb.com. And join us next time for the Consumer Quarterback Show.